What's up, everybody? Welcome to Game Moose episode 129. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Turford, alongside the Broccoli Brock McLaughlin returning.
Yo, you can see a lot of my legs in the video here.
Yeah.
A lot of skin.
It's gonna crop.
Then never mind. Then you guys can't see my legs.
Well, you'll see some of it.
Okay, well, if you really want to see a white pasty. Oh, I thought I was pasty.
Dude,
Drew is also very pasty.
Yeah, my legs are
And
white.
Drew wears shorts a lot, I feel.
No, I've been trying not to, though, because somebody told me that it's not fashionable.
No, shorts are very in right now.
For men to wear shorts.
Shorts are very in right now.
Because there was a whole article that was like, men shouldn't wear shorts.
No, shorts are very in. They're very popular in Fashion Week this year.
What kind of shorts should I wear? I'm assuming not my Reebok basketball
I think
shorts.
like really short shorts. Colorful short shorts that show off the goods.
Huh.
Brock's back, baby! We're talking about dicks!
I don't know if I can pull that off.
Yeah, you could. Speaking of which, the ghost with the most, Drew McMillan's also here.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, big fat guys don't look good in little shorts.
I'm into it.
As a general rule. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't body shame you for your choices.
All right, well, thank you. Appreciate
Brock,
it.
if shorts weren't in, why would all three of us be wearing shorts today?
Yeah, exactly.
Like we wear like we always wear.
We're normally on the cutting edge of fashion.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
We're setting trends.
Yeah.
Like as we always do. I'm wearing those.
I mean, you've got the NASA trend going for you.
Yeah, I have this NASA shirt. I'm gonna buy 3 more of these. I love the shirt so much.
And Brock's got the traditional Brock look, the dad life look.
The unbuttoned dad life shirt.
Yeah.
And then I'm just in my usual weird gaming shirt. So there you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got cargo shorts.
Very
on.
nice.
What do you got in there? Could you stick a Duke controller in there?
Ooh,
I wish I could.
Shit.
I wish I could, but it's
too big.
It's too big.
It's just too big.
Yeah.
It's too big for most things,
Yes.
including my butt.
Ryan got a Duke controller, and it is way bigger than I ever remember. So is that for scale the same as the original?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
The
exactly
circle's
the same.
bigger though, no?
The circle is about the same size.
Oh, wow.
And it is a
But it's an
functional button.
LED now.
It's a button.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's basically it replaces the Xbox button. So the Xbox button on that controller is huge,
Right.
versus the normal controller.
And this in the top used to have slots? Or did it have a...
It did have slots for the memory card.
Yeah.
You used to have a memory card for your original Xbox, and we'd go in there.
Holy
also, the
shit,
other
I
difference
forgot all
is
about
that one has trigger like R1 and L1 buttons.
Of course.
Whereas the original Duke did not. They had the black and white buttons at the very top.
What do the black and white buttons do?
The black and white buttons are just L1 and R1.
Okay.
Did the original Xbox not have internal hard drive?
It did have an internal hard drive, but some games still required a memory card because they were too big for the hard drive.
The original Xbox's hard drive was like minuscule.
Well, it was 20
very tiny.
gigs.
Yeah.
Which is what the
so
Xbox
weird.
360 launched with.
Yeah, it was very, very small. And there was no installation. There was no game installation.
Right.
Well, the reason
back in the day.
Well, what they had the hard drive for, it was for streaming game data so that it could lower load times on disc games. Because, for example, Seamus Blackley, who was one of the creators of the Xbox, stated that the reason why Halo became an Xbox franchise at the very beginning, rather than just staying on PC or Mac, was that because the Xbox had a built-in hard drive, the only way to make Halo possible on a console at that time was to stream data between the disc and the hard drive, or else it wouldn't properly run.
It essentially became a real-time buffer for the game instead of doing an install like we're used to with all games these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's just how technology worked back then. So
I miss the days when you could just play a game,
Yeah, you just
pop it in.
plug it in, away you go. Yeah.
What a concept.
No patches, no nothing. That's, you know what? Let's make a video game console that does that.
you mean like the Atari VCS?
Wow.
It was such a big success.
Actually, it does have patches. Anyways, you can find the Game Moose podcast coming to you each and every Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time over on game-moose.com and on YouTube. Just search for Game Moose, or just go to game-moose.com/video and you'll find it there. We're also on podcast services around the globe, including iTunes and Stitcher, not SoundCloud, but pretty much everything else.
Spreaker.
The Moose are on Nooner.
We're not on Spotify.
Not on
either.
Spotify.
Although, to be fair, if we were on Libsyn, the podcast hosting service Libsyn, we could be on Spotify.
We're on Player FM.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other listening services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure to, if you like what we do, make sure to leave us a review on your podcast service of choice. Rate us, all that good stuff. It really helps us out. As well, if you're watching the video version, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, on today's show, we are going to talk about Amy Hennig leaving EA.
Yep.
Because that game, I don't think, is ever coming out.
Not as we know it.
Yeah. We're also going to talk about a situation over at ArenaNet. We'll explain that when we get to the story. And also Netflix's Castlevania series coming back with a second season.
They're bringing Power Man?
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's something.
It's sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brock's really excited about this.
You mean Power Man 5000, the band?
No.
If only. If only. Oh, why can't Power Man 5000 come back?
What Power Man? What are we talking about?
Power Man. Isn't it Power Man?
Who's Power Man?
I don't know who
That's
Power
right.
Man is either.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, stop this. 1 sec. Keep talking.
We
I'll
can't
pull it
stop
up.
the show.
All right, we're
Okay.
fact checking who
Actually,
the fuck Power Man is.
Actually, while Brock fact checks...
Ultraman, not Power Man. Ultraman.
I know who Ultraman is. I don't know who Power Man is.
I thought you were talking about Rob Zombie's brother's band.
No, they're bringing
When
Ultraman.
worlds collide, Drew.
I guess, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know Ultraman from back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to have Ultraman on the SNES.
Yeah.
There was a fighting game that was incredibly awful. It's one of the worst SNES games.
Yeah, Ultraman responsible for a lot of basically the Super Sentai stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
He fought He fought
AKA
Godzilla.
Power Ranger stuff.
He did. He's fought a lot of people.
That's cool.
He's a very little man that becomes a very big Ultraman.
Like Ant-Man.
A little bit, yeah.
I just saw the new Ant-Man.
I haven't seen it. I'm very excited. I hear good things.
It was really funny.
I hear it's a lot of fun.
It's really funny.
Cool.
Anyways, Drew.
Yes, we have something we need to talk about. Up first, though, last week I was at the Alienware Gaming Lounge in downtown Toronto at a very, very swanky hotel.
Yeah. The pictures make it seem very swanky.
It was very interesting. If by now you've checked out the website, you'll see my blog entry about it. It was real cool. Our friends at Dell invited us over to check out some of the both Alienware PCs and some new Dell gaming laptops, like the latest line of them. Mm-hmm. If you have read my Alienware 15 review, you'll get the basic gist of what kind of stuff they've got. But essentially, we're talking about like gaming PCs. Goddamn, the Area 51 like tower, that thing is just insane.
Yeah.
Like dual GeForce Ti 1080s, like just like a huge monster case. There's a water block on the CPU. Like there's room for like 37 hard drives.
Jesus.
If you're the kind of person who's like, I want like a dope, like just crazy gaming rig, and you don't want to like have to part it out or hire somebody to do. I mean, that's the whole thing that Alienware does, right? And this thing is like, I don't know. If I had this computer when I was like 15. Like I would just cream my pants every day. This thing is nuts, and it's got this really crazy like triangular design to it. It's really neat.
Yeah,
it's the first time I'd ever seen the Area 51.
Oh, so you've never seen one in person before?
No. So it was pretty neat. And then like, I mean, obviously the performance was like through the roof.
Yeah.
It was crazy. They had also a very cool 4K like wraparound display on it, which was really awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah, and that was like. That was probably one of the neatest things I saw there. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but Alienware is now putting into their gaming laptops Toby. Have you ever heard of Toby before?
Toby from The Office?
No, it's not Toby from The Office.
Damn it, Toby!
Nor is it that kid from that Kinect demo. It's like an eye tracking thing. So there's like a little IR bar that goes along the bottom of your laptop screen. And so I was sitting there, I was playing Warhammer Vermintide 2, which was just flying on this fucking thing. And then I was like,
pretty cool.
Moving my head around. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's
pretty fun.
It reminds me a lot of Left 4 Dead.
Right.
It's like a cool sort of like better Left 4 Dead.
It's the only game that's still doing that.
So like I'm moving my head around, and all of a sudden I notice that like the character's head's moving, and I'm like, wait, is it moving with my head? And I'm like, what's this IR bar thing doing? And it does like eye tracking. So like you can like, as you move your head, it'll adjust the camera slightly. So, you know, this is like the stuff that like people who play like flight simulators and stuff have been doing for years with like a baseball cap that had like 3 little tracking points on it and stuff like that. But now you sit in front of it and it works.
That's crazy.
It's fucking dope. It's so cool.
Yeah. There can't be very many games that it works with.
Yeah, there's got to be like a list of compatibility. But I mean like, that kind of tracking, just that data, there has existed like an API for that for years, right? Because like again, people have been doing infrared tracking with other things for a really long time, especially like again like flight simulator people like crazy into this shit.
I want to know.
Alienware is part of Dell, right?
Alienware is part of Dell. So this is the Dell Gaming Lounge. Sorry.
And Dell provided all the computers for Ant-Man.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes,
There you
there's
go.
some really slick looking dells in it.
It's a good tie-in. Yeah, so one of the things that I really liked is I love their gaming, like the gaming laptops, and like the Alienware 15 is like a monster, right? And the new one with Toby in it is super fucking cool.
Toby.
But they had just like the Dell XPS like 15s and 17s, which are like they're
one step below the Alienware.
in sort of the hierarchy, yeah. But I mean, even at that, the
still
same
pretty
sort of thing. Like they
Yeah.
have like 1070 Ti's in them and stuff like that. Like GTX, like really good graphic cards. And I was playing like a game of Rocket League that was like running at like 120 frames. Like it was just flying.
On the 15?
Like on the 15,
It's
yeah.
a good computer.
It's a
good computer.
it's solid. And then the nice thing about it is it's one that you probably be a lot more comfortable traveling with. Like I would want to get an Alienware 15 for like my tiny little office in my tiny little Toronto apartment because I don't want to put a giant tower in there and then, have it spilling out like 400 BTUs of heat. But if you want something to like travel around with, like the XPSs are really, really, really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's sort of like low profile like form factor that you expect from like a really nice productivity laptop that can also play games, which is nice because you can't do that. Like you can't go out and buy you can spend $3,500 in a Mac Pro and its game performance will still be garbage because the video cards in them suck.
Well, yeah.
right?
Like once you get to like you basically have to spend minimum $3,000 on them just to get like a non-integrated video card.
Yeah.
Which is the problem.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't really like. For me, I don't buy Macs.
No.
For that reason.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah,
I
it
use
was
my
a lot
computer
of
for a lot of porn, so
Yeah.
I use anything.
yeah, anything that just can crank through the nudes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really important.
Yeah,
Just
no,
let's get
eye tracking
navigating.
would be really handy because I could be like next video with my eyes.
That'd be cool. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. Yeah, because you don't want to get your hands
From
on
side to
that.
side.
What?
You don't want to get your hands on
No, I don't. There's so much moisturizer.
I mean,
no hands free.
yeah. Brock actually is starting a new service, which is like so. There's there's like Loot Crate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just for keyboard protectors because he goes through keyboard protectors so much.
Is it called-
It just mails you. You just get a new keyboard protector every week.
Yeah, every week.
Yeah.
It's a weekly box.
Yeah.
Yeah. The name of the service, Brockbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rockbox. Oh, and another really new exciting endeavor that I'm really pleased to announce. Brock put this together. Good for him. I'm going to be one of the creators at this event. BrockCon is coming to you. I'm going to tell you right now. Tickets are going to be $3 for an Ultra VIP pass, and that gets you like just in the door. You meet with me for an hour. There's a kissing session. We get in a hot tub, and I tell you how to create video. The whole thing. Like the whole experience. No limit on tickets. Right, we're doing this at the Las Vegas Hilton, but like anyone can come. As a matter of fact,
Well, anyone can come.
yeah, anyone can come. Yeah,
Is this
I mean,
produced by Kevin
that's the
Spacey?
rule.
Did I miss the memo?
Absolutely. Let's just say this: pay what you want. Just show up, pay what you want.
Nice.
And no security because who wants security?
Yeah, we
there,
don't need
right?
security.
You don't need security.
Have it your way.
Yeah,
Have it
exactly.
your way.
Like, this is your experience. It's about you. I'm tired of YouTube and VidCon trying to tell us what to do.
Just trying to keep the man down.
That's right. Where's the voice for the alternative creators? And I'll tell you where. It's at BrockCon. All right. Yeah. No lines. There'll be no lines. When you get there, you just go in the door.
Just live
Who
your
cares?
best dad life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Do it. We have no vendors yet, but we're working on it.
Yeah, there'll be vendors, but like
No.
there's gonna be so much merch. There's
Right.
gonna be merch for things. There's gonna be merch for things that there isn't merch for, and then there's gonna be merch.
I got
right?
Brock card at BrockCon.
Yeah, so like there's gonna be a Brock hat, but then there's gonna be a Brock hat that has a logo of the Brock hat on the Brock hat.
I like that.
There will also be a setup where you can go and buy your own Brock box. That week's box.
Absolutely,
will be
yeah.
on sale.
Yeah, and there's the special. There's going to be like exclusive merch only at BrockCon. All the good BrockCon merch. Yeah, I have a special line of toe socks. They're socks that only go on your toes.
I get that. My toes get cold, but the rest of my foot gets hot.
Yeah, it's only as far as the toe. Yeah, and they got my name on them. It just says Drew. Yeah.
Cool.
good stuff.
But I have 5 toes. What's the empty toe say? Is it with an exclamation mark?
No, like it's spanned across.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's stretchy fabric.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's a Brock.
Oh,
play on toe
so these
socks.
aren't singular toe socks. They're like a whole row of toe socks.
Yeah, but like it just covers like the toe and like there's just like a little band that holds them on. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those already exist, Drew. I think you're already
wouldn't be
thinking the idea that
surprised
already
if they
exists somewhere.
Yeah. Like, there's probably a fetish website.
I feel like that's something you find in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Toe sock.
Yeah. So yeah, check out BrockCon. Go to broadcon.com.
Yeah.
What's this show? What are we even doing here?
I'm making fun.
Can we just talk about Brock Con the whole show?
That was a special bit just for the millennials and the YouTube generation. Because do you guys hear about TanaCon, the disaster that was TanaCon? So VidCon is a thing where you can go meet YouTube creators.
Right.
And they can't invite everybody. It's a huge event, and YouTube is gigantic, and not everyone can go. And some of the more controversial voices apparently didn't get an invite, like people like this YouTube creator Tana, who I never heard of before. So she decided to start.
That's Drew, we don't know YouTubers.
Well,
we really
no.
don't know YouTubers.
Does anybody though?
Nah.
And as it turns out, nobody did for this. So she set up her own convention that had these like grandiose, impossible to reach promises, and like the prices were impossibly low and stuff like that. Security didn't know what they were doing. People showed up to buy like badges, and they were like there were lines for miles because they didn't have ways to like pay for anything, and it was a whole mess. A bunch of other YouTubers jumped on board and said, "Yeah, we're going to get involved with this." And then the whole thing was a disaster, and a lot of people had to apologize. As it turns out, you can't make impossible promises and then expect everybody to be happy about it. So don't do that.
There you go.
Yeah. The end.
All right.
That was a good bit.
That was pretty good. I missed this. Anyways, let's move on to topic one.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Halo TV series, because this news came out a few weeks ago. The Halo TV series that we thought was canceled is apparently now happening. So
I'll believe it when I see it. This show's been in development for like 13 years.
it's true. Well, it's not Steven Spielberg's Halo.
Right.
It's a different Halo.
There are too many. This is the problem, right? So there was the original one, which is what became Halo Nightfall.
Right.
Which
The Ridley Scott one.
Which was terrible.
Right.
And then they said, oh, yeah, but we're also working on a movie. And then that was the thing that Steven Spielberg was attached to.
Right.
And then Neil Blomkamp was involved with it.
Yeah.
And then it
At one point, Peter Jackson was involved with it.
Yeah. And then it morphed into a TV series. And then it got canceled. And then there was another TV series, which was Showtime.
Showtime is who got the new
Showtime's
one.
doing the new one.
Yeah, well, Showtime was involved with it initially and said, yeah, we have this deal. And then nobody heard anything about it. And when there was all this stuff like Nightfall was a horrible failure, everyone just assumed that it had just died with that.
Yeah.
Apparently not. It's alive and it's coming out.
So they ordered a 1-hour episode run, and it'll be coming out next year.
But it's based on the original 3 Halo games, which is real weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're using Bungie stuff, but Bungie's not involved.
No.
No.
But to be fair, a lot of people at 343 worked at Bungie.
Right.
Yeah. They poached a bunch of
But
people.
you'd think they'd be set in like Halo 5, Halo 6 time period?
I don't know how you do that.
I don't know. I don't know how you really do a Halo TV series.
The biggest problem with Halo 4, 5, and 6 is that, or Infinite, as you will, is that the story is too complicated at this point. Like, it's too convoluted.
Yeah.
People were already fucking lost, right? Because they had this whole thing where they had the original trilogy that told a very tight story, and then they came back, and the new trilogy very much builds on what had already happened in the first 3.
Right.
Like, in order for you to understand what the fuck is going on in Halo 4 and 5, you need to know who the Covenant are. You need to know who Cortana is and what the situation with the AI is and why there's rampancy.
The rings.
And the rings, the flood, the Forerunners, the
Arbiter.
who the Didact is, who the Arbiter is. There's all this stuff. Like, it's this big interconnected world. But like, not only is there a lot of world building, but like all these things are necessary pieces of the narrative.
Yeah.
And without having all of the stuff leading up to it, it would be real easy to get lost.
Is Master Chief going to get his fuck on? This is Showtime.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to talk and, like, see his face?
Well,
Are we going to see his weird burnt dick?
That's going to be super weird.
The real question is, will Master Chief be even in this?
But, like...
They never said anything about Master Chief.
I know, but, like, it'd be really weird to have a show not have Master Chief. Or, like, I guess it'd be a Spartan.
Well, it could follow, like, ODSTs.
But are you going to see a Spartan's face? Like, are they going to talk? Be weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah, who knows?
So have you guys seen? There have been
Is Scarlett Johansson playing him?
Maybe it'll be just confirmed. Maybe it'll be like what Agent Locke is doing during.
No one wants that.
I do.
No one.
Hashtag Team Locke.
That is
all
so
the way.
wrong.
We've come full circle, and Scarlett Johansson is now taking the roles of white men.
Yes.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know. There have been some good. There's been some good sort of like media tie-in stuff for Halo. There's been some bad ones. Like we know Nightfall sucked. There was the first season of the podcast that led up to Halo 5,
Right.
the Hunt the Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fucking good. The world building and the storytelling of that is so good.
That's why we were actually excited for the Halo 5 story.
It's
The
Keegan
podcast
Michael
was
Key is doing most of the voice work for it. It's fantastic. And then the second season, they lose Keegan Michael Key and like they go in this weird different direction, and it doesn't make any sense.
Calling your AI Cortana when Cortana becomes a bad person in the game is very odd.
Yeah.
Very odd tie-in.
Yeah.
Didn't think that one through.
No. Because Cortana is essentially now the villain, but also is the name of their voice recognition service on
very weird
on
Well,
Windows platforms.
I'm sure Microsoft already developed a solution for rampancy that it won't happen in real life.
We're good.
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
No, we don't have to worry about it.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so there's a Hunt the Truth, and there was the other. There was like a mini series, like a YouTube series.
Yeah.
I can't
It
remember.
was called
Forward
Red.
Unto Dawn.
It was called Red vs. Blue.
That reference was very good.
No, Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah, Forward Unto Dawn, which set up Halo 4, which was like about the captain of the big spaceship in Halo 4. I can't remember what the name of it is. The flagship of the new fleet that's super advanced. The one that finds Master Chief. It like sets up the captain of him. It's like a story about like when he was a recruit, when he first meets Master Chief. And that worked because like Master Chief was in it, but it wasn't from Master Chief's perspective. Because Master Chief is like this like godlike being who doesn't have a face and very rarely talks.
Yeah.
So how do you do that anyway, right? So the notion of doing it from the perspective of other people, and then those people also there's stakes for them. There's no stakes for Chief, right? He's not going to die. No. Nothing's going to happen. Like, he's not going to lose anything either
It's
because
just
he
like a
doesn't
filler
care.
episode. Like, you obviously know the ending. That's why, like, with this Showtime series happening between Halo 1 and 3, I'd actually be very surprised if it was about Master Chief for that reason.
Yeah.
Like, it would take all the stakes
It's
out
from
of
the
it.
perspective of a flood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little flood spores.
Just flood fucking. I'd be into it. That's pretty much how it'd be.
Yeah. There was also Halo Legends, the anime as well.
Oh, God.
Which was from like 9 different side stories from 9 different anime directors.
Yeah.
Which I liked some of those, but like not all of them were.
The whole story about the origins of
the Forerunners.
Not the Forerunners, the Super Soldier program that
that one was really good too.
Yeah, the whole like the whole Spartan 2 program thing.
Yeah.
Like even if you go like Spartan 1, Spartan 2, because the whole thing about like Spartan 2, they create this really cool narrative where essentially they realize the only way to make these super soldiers, number one, it's because like Earth in the future, they don't really talk about it that much, but like the Earth sort of government is like this totalitarian like dictatorship. Like they project this image of everything's fine, but it's all about like very careful control. Like there's like these like propaganda departments and like these like really clever spies and stuff that are always looking out for dissidents, because there's all like these colonies that are always trying to like exert their independence. And that's why the Spartans were created, was to stop like terrorists and dissidents and stuff like that. And they did this by going to like outer rim colonies and stealing children, like kidnapping kids from parents when they didn't know, and replacing them with what they called flash clones. And the flash clones would they were made really quickly, and one of the shortcomings is they die really quickly, right? So there was a kid that looked exactly like John, aka Master Chief.
Yeah.
And then he mysteriously died of an illness like 2 years later because he was like a poorly made clone, right? And that happened to like a whole bunch of kids. So there's all these stories about this happening, and like that's part of like Hunt the Truth was about that, right? Like about them digging up the past of Master Chief and where the Spartan 2 program came from.
Halo, the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like essentially John, Master Chief, he's a kid who was like kidnapped, and then as a kid a bunch of experiments were done on him. They added like cybernetic implants and genetic engineering and stuff, and that's what Dr. Halsey did, right?
Yeah.
And she's sort of like she's like a hero and a villain of that series. Like there's all this interesting stuff, but they don't really dig into it very much with most of like the main story stuff.
Yeah.
I really want to play Halo 2 now.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
I was playing it with the Dukia the other day. So
that whole concept of
it's real fun.
like Master Chief is like the savior of humanity but he is like this tragic character. Like they made him into this monster. They stole away his family. He's like this cold-hearted son of a bitch who doesn't get attached to anyone because they programmed him to be that way. And they basically, like I said, like programmed him to kill dissidents. And then the Covenant came along, right? So it's fucked up, man. There could be some really interesting stories there.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. I love the books.
Yeah. There's a TV show that it really reminds me of, which is Space Above and Beyond. If you've never seen that show, it's kind of corny. You know, it's from the late 90s. It was around sort of like the X-Files kind of era. But it is a surprisingly well executed like sci-fi show that has like a heavy military bent. Like it's all set around like these guys who join this like Earth Defense Force kind of thing. They're fighting like an alien invasion, but nobody really understands what's going on and stuff like that. It's really cool. Space Above and Beyond, good show. Check it out.
Yeah. I remember seeing it all the time on TV, but I can't remember anything about it. Yeah.
But it's really great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's enough of me rambling about Halo.
Yeah. Cool.
Are you looking it up now?
Yes, I'm looking it up now.
Cool.
Good.
Well,
Good show.
while Brock looks that up, Drew,
Yeah.
tell me what happened at ArenaNet.
Oh, I remember this cover.
Yeah. Good show.
86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, really good show. So ArenaNet, the creators of Guild Wars 2.
Yep. Well, just all the Guild Wars game.
Which
but
is-
Guild Wars 2 specifically.
We're talking specifically about Guild Wars 2. There was a Reddit AMA.
Right.
And then after the Reddit AMA, there were some people that had more questions or comments. One of whom was a noted Guild Wars 2 streamer. And
He's not just noted, he's partnered with ArenaNet.
He is a partner streamer. Like he's very popular, and he has a business relationship with them as basically a contractor, right?
Right.
So he was making suggestions about the narrative design and stuff like that, and he was specifically pointing it towards some of the people who were participating in the AMA. One of whom was a woman who works for ArenaNet, who's responsible for some of this design work, and her perspective was that he was being like a condescending jerk and trying to basically tell her how to do her job. But he didn't have any experience in game development.
Well, it was more like she was posting on Twitter, basically why it's difficult from a game design and from a lore perspective to design MMO characters.
Yeah.
Stories.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for the most part, you can't, it's not like a traditional game where in MMOs, they have to make you feel like you're a one-of-a-kind player, but they somehow have to fit that idea in mind that you're also playing with a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And that you're not the only person. So it's like, it's a thin line to sort of balance. Like Blizzard's always been very good at that, but it's like it's very hard to, from a storytelling perspective, how to tell those stories.
Like Blizzard came up with phasing just to address some of those issues, right?
Yeah.
Regardless, so that was what they were discussing, which was by no means a controversial
Yeah, like
subject.
the YouTuber was claiming, well, why don't you just use some like choice system like Mass Effect?
Yeah.
And her response kind of was like, well, don't you think we already thought about that?
Yeah, and her, but what was more importantly was her perspective. From her perspective, she felt like he was being condescending and rude.
Right.
That he was essentially quote unquote. I don't want to use that term because I don't think she used that term either. But she did mention that she feels like this often. Like she's in this situation where there are men who interject, who say like, "I know how to do your job better than you," right? And she feels like that makes her. She feels like it's coming from a place of sexism, and it frustrates her a great deal. And she expressed that frustration and said like, look, some random asshat on the internet is now telling me how to do my job, even though I've got years of experience doing this on this specific game and you don't. It's not really fair for you to jump in here and say, you know, why don't you just do this? Of course, we've considered it. There's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot harder than that. People didn't appreciate that. People didn't like her response. I know that asshat in particular was a word that people could have globbed onto. They didn't like that she had used that.
People on Reddit specifically.
Yeah. So, you know, like there was like a mob that kind of formed that said like, we don't like what she's doing. At the same time, another developer that works with her stepped up and defended her and said like, no, like nobody was asking for your feedback. And as a consequence, a few days later, her and her colleague were let go. And they said, like, the way you communicated on the internet was not up to our standards.
That's fucking shitty.
Yeah.
I think. Wrong move firing them.
Yeah.
Fuck them and fuck those dudes.
I come from a complicated place here because I mean, obviously, like Ryan and I work for an organization that like looks at the content that we put out on the web. Like they put it under a microscope, right? Like they're very concerned about how we represent that company, which is why we try not to talk about the company because we don't represent the company's interest when we're doing this stuff at all.
Yeah, they're 100% separate.
Yeah, they're two very different things. But the message that we get from our employer is it doesn't matter if you say that or not. If you do something really egregious, if we came out here and did an hour-long podcast about how we think that the white people are the superior race, that would be hugely inappropriate. Right. And regardless of what we say, how the podcast lives separate from our work lives, our employer would probably fire us pretty quickly. Right. That's just how it happens. And a lot of people are saying this isn't fair. Like your Twitter account isn't an official representation of our employer. But this is a bigger problem. This has happened with a whole bunch of people in a bunch of different industries. I mean, Brock, you work in PR and your other job and your other life. Mm-hmm. Like, you know that there are people that...
I don't, but close.
Well...
One would assume you would know.
I don't know what I do. I'm like Barney. Like, no idea. I do stuff, but yes.
You work with another company, and part of that is having a public face, right? Like you go meet people, and you talk to people like through various social media networks on behalf of the company, right? And what they want you to do is develop a cult of personality around that too, right? They want to say that like, your regardless of what representation you have on the web, we want all of those things to represent our brand because we want everything to get out there as much as possible. So if you do something that's contrary to our brand, then we're not happy about that, right? So,
which is why I don't say where I work very often.
Which is probably the same reason why we
children.
Well, again, you're also separating yourself from that too.
Absolutely.
I mean, one of the ways we protect ourselves is we don't associate ourselves so that our companies don't look too closely at what we do, because the reality is that that's an issue for everybody who works in this business. It's scary.
Yeah.
You know, the whole idea that like you want to be able to express yourself and your beliefs both regarding what you do for a living and otherwise. And I talk about my political beliefs on the internet all the fucking time. Yeah. Right. I just got banned from another Facebook group yesterday for telling the truth, but that's a different story.
Hunt the truth.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of responsibility that comes from talking on the internet. Right. Like we all know.
What you say on social media has implications in your real life as much as you don't want it to.
Yeah, regardless of whether or not that account is part of your business account or not.
And part of that is just, it's like that at every job now. Yeah. I think that even if you just work at a regular business, if you're doing a normal IT job or something like that, even then, even though you're not a forward face for the company, they look at it that way.
Yeah.
Like what you say on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram matters.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like if I had an Instagram account that was all dick pics, but it had nothing to do with it was called just like here's my dick, the account. That would not go well. I don't think any employer anywhere in the world, even if I was working for a construction company, if it came out that, hey, that weird dick pic account, they work for like the construction construction conglomerate, I imagine I would get fired pretty fast.
I think it'd be okay if you worked for Pornhub.
Yeah, I think Pornhub would be very supportive.
I think that'd be okay.
Yeah. But only if I was doing it in like a friendly way. Like if I was doing that and then like DMing unwanted dick pics to everybody, I don't even think Pornhub would put up with that shit.
Yeah.
No,
you'd be bumped down to like some minimum wage job pretty quick, and that's if they would take you.
Even at that, like if you draw that kind of negative attention to you, nobody wants that association with their brand. Nobody wants to be the employer of the dick pic guy. Yeah. At the same time, nobody wants to be the employer of the like Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan either. Like I don't know how those guys hold fucking jobs. That's why they wear hoods and stuff. But you gotta watch your ass on the internet. And somebody said. About this when I was discussing this online with some people, like, oh, like the games industry needs to unionize. And I can tell you right now, it don't fucking matter. We work for a company and we're part of Ryan and again, part of a very, very strong union. They would happily watch us go down in flames if we did something like that dick pic account, or if we had a Twitter account that just posted like racist things all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in this particular case, that may not have happened. Because less severe than the things you just described.
Yes.
But to the company, like to ArenaNet, that's they're one and the same.
And regardless, there's a line.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a line.
And it's up to the company where to draw the line, not you.
Right.
That's the thing that makes this tough, right? You think you're acting in the best interest, but at a certain point, if the company decides, oh shit, no, I don't like this, then you're a shitcan, and that's just it. It sucks, but that's the reality.
Right.
So you have to be very careful about what you say.
Yeah.
We're not always, but we try.
Stop mansplaining to women.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm essentially doing that, but
Not you.
other people.
He's talking about the situation.
I mean, I'm essentially mansplaining to any woman who's listening right now.
The bigger issue was we saw with the Reddit group after it happened, they now feel like this sends the message to them that they're empowered, that anyone who steps out of line, they can just fire them. Which is not the message you want to send to an angry mob of people.
Which is vaguely reminiscent of like the Gamergate thing.
Yeah. Or even the Mass Effect 3 ending, like stuff like that. Like,
remember when like Gamergate, they managed to like a hate mob got together and essentially got funding pulled from Game of Sutra, right? The Intel pulled their advertising campaign on Game of Sutra because they wrote because there was an op-ed that was like critical of the term gamer and Gamergate. Right. That was fucked, man. Like that didn't make any sense. And certainly as an internet mob, you wield power, and people know that now. And people know that because if there's quote unquote an internet mob, it doesn't even have to be actual people. It just has to be the perception that there's lots of people.
Right.
So now things like bots come into play and sway opinions on people. But, regardless.
I have like 50 Reddit accounts.
Yeah.
Like 50 people in there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Depending on my mood.
Yeah. I got to upvote or downvote the things to make it just, so it suits my needs.
Yeah.
Jesus.
My interpretation of the situation, if I were their employer, I would not have fired them. I would have said, hey, just maybe don't use the swears when talking to people who are direct customers. Yeah. And, also be aware of who our contractors are, like this gaming partner, and just and how you interact with them, be a little bit more diplomatic about it. I think she was right in her sentiment, right? In terms of like what she was saying is like, no, like you don't understand how hard this is. And I appreciate that you have some opinion about it, but it's really complicated and it's not just as simple as dialogue tree.
Right.
Do I think how she communicated that was appropriate? I don't know. I'm not an employer.
Yeah.
I've taken that same kind of stance when I've been that critical of games that I think have done things that are stupid. Like I've come out and said, oh no, they're fucking stupid.
But to be fair, but ever since we started doing the show, I feel like we're more cognizant of that.
Yeah.
Of what we say about games. At least I know I am.
I'm going to tell you right now, I have no problem making Cliffy B cry.
Well,
zero issue with that.
No, but I mean, just you will do it in a thoughtful way rather than just saying Cliffy B sucks and just leaving it like that.
Yeah, I mean,
which is what some people do.
I do think Cliffy B sucks, but I have a rationale.
Arguments. You have a checkpoint list of things you'll talk about.
It's been a long time since Jazz Jackrabbit. Let's be real.
Don't worry, Cliff. I still love you.
Yeah. I did like Jazz Jackrabbit.
Yeah, who didn't? He's a cute little.
It's a fun game.
Green rabbit. And you have guns and things.
I've never played that game.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I'm surprised.
I know. I play a lot of weird stuff.
You do play a lot of weird stuff.
Anyway, so
that leads into our segment. What have you? No, it's I'm jumping the gun.
No, we have one topic.
Oh, so close to that nice segue.
Speaking of topics that makes Drew sad.
Drew, oh no!
It's finally time to talk about Amy Hennig.
Yeah, this is a real fucking bummer. You guys know I was really excited about this game.
Yeah, so
we all were.
Let me just run it down real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So Amy Hennig confirmed last week, and again, this was a story from last week. First of all, apologies for no show last week. It was a holiday.
Yeah, I hope y'all had a good Canada Day.
Yeah. So Amy Hennig confirmed on Twitter that she's no longer at EA. She also said this in an interview with Eurogamer as well.
That's what I do when I'm not.
She confirmed that she stated that she's opening an independent studio with, quote, 6 to 8 people, 15 at the most. We don't know the name of the studio or anything like that. When asked about the single-player Star Wars game she was working on, she stated, quote, the project is on the shelf now. She tweeted later in the week to clarify that the game is still very much in development, but it's going to be, as we suspected, much different from the game we had initially heard about.
Yeah,
Like, it sounds like it's going to be like an open world, like sandbox game, whereas she was developing a linear Uncharted style like heist game.
That would have been so badass.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it sounds like she came out and kind of said what she wanted to say, and then someone said, no, toe the line. The game is not shelved.
Yeah.
I think they're repurposing the assets, but whatever that game is, nothing with the actual gameplay I think will ever live on.
Right.
Because that's not what they want to do.
Go into like a crime syndicate and have to fight Darth Maul and like take on the rogue gals.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah, the Night Sisters of Twi'lek.
It would have had no porgs.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
There can always be porgs.
Could be some badass porgs.
There could be.
There could be porgs.
A bunch of drunk porgs.
Yeah.
That's more likely, actually.
Yeah. Just sipping on booze and they have guns and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't cross
Sipping
those
on
porgs.
gin and juice.
Yeah, smoking them death sticks.
Yeah.
You want some death sticks? You don't want to give me death sticks.
Please don't. You don't want
I'm quoting everybody's favorite movie.
It's true.
Yeah, this sucks because I mean
I don't remember that line from Howard the Duck.
the most successful Lucasfilm movie ever made.
Of course.
My favorite Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
He was on so much cocaine. That movie is horrible. There is duck titties.
Yeah.
It was a weird movie.
Yes, it was.
I still watch it like religiously because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, like birds don't have nipples, but they do in Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
A duck man fucked a human woman.
Yeah. And she really enjoyed it. There was feathers everywhere.
Hey.
They also did it on a feather pillow, which is very weird.
Did anybody stop and go like, hey, maybe we should look up what a duck's dick looks like?
Yep.
Because if they did, they would not have put that scene in the movie.
Do you think they cut out the scene where you see his dick?
He's got like a weird corkscrew dick?
Yeah.
So ducks, for the record, have a corkscrew shaped dick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Not every bird has a dick. Also, interesting fact.
Well, yeah, because some are female.
Well, no, some species of avian, some species of bird, have what's called a cloaca, which is it's the same on a male and a female. It's just basically an opening, and they rub their lumpy opening against the other lumpy opening, and they just squirt jizz into
I really like that you know this offhand.
I was going to say, why do you know so much about this?
I'm a bird nerd, but then there's I'm a big old bird nerd. Y'all know I love birds.
I think you killed Brock.
I didn't.
I'm a huge bird nerd. Yeah, so it was like what goes on with their junk. Also, it's birds. Most birds don't have penises and anuses because they everything comes out of one hole.
There you go.
And they all just have one hole. It's
But stop looking at me so seriously. Why do you know this?
birds have a fun hole. They don't pee and poop. Their pee and poop goes together because they have a different kind of stomach acid.
He's a bird nerd.
I'm a bird nerd. Yeah. Fun fact. I'm way into raptors. Enjoy a good predatory bird. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but ducks are unique in that they have a corkscrew shaped penis, and Howard the Duck put his.
That's why we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck
is a great movie.
put his corkscrew shaped penis, man-sized corkscrew shaped penis into
A woman.
Leah Thompson. A well-known actress from the 1980s.
She wants to like bring back Duckman or Howard the Duck.
Yeah. You know why?
Well, she needs something to end her career.
Motherfucker needs to get paid.
Yeah.
Shit. So
I can't believe that she wants to relive that movie and redo it. Like she wants to go back there. She's more inducted.
what am I doing?
Who's
She wants that Marvel money is the thing.
What happened to my life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm behind you. I am there for her. She wants to start a Kickstarter.
Okay.
I got you, babe.
All right.
Well, I mean,
I honestly really like Howard the
what's
Duck.
George doing right now? Why don't you just call him on the phone? He's just hanging out.
Yeah,
Swimming in
probably.
his money vault.
Yeah. He's doing Uncle Scrooge into all his gold coins.
Yeah. Well, he gave away most of his money. The sale. Well, the sale of Lucasfilm was like $30 billion or something.
Right.
And he gave most of it away to philanthropic things. Like a big chunk of it's going to his sci-fi museum that vanity project he's had for a while. But anyway,
let's get back to
Amy Hennig no longer with EA. So the future, the hope of there being a real heavy, like narrative heavy Star Wars single player game from EA, it seems to be completely dead.
Yeah. I mean, other than the Respawn game, which is what they talked about.
But we don't know.
But we don't know. Yeah.
What kind of game that is.
That's true.
And guaranteed it's going to have some heavy games of service aspect to it.
Yeah. When they had that announcement, I'm using quotations at EA Play this year, he did mention that it would be single player.
Here's what I anticipate.
It'll probably have multiplayer too.
But it can be single player and still be games of service, right? Like guaranteed. The reason why was like 3 months before that, they're like, okay, so we're going to show this game at EA, and they called them up and said like, what can you show? And they went, well, you told us to finish the loot boxes first, but all we've got is loot boxes. And they went, no, take all the loot boxes out. Oh shit, we can't show this game. All right, so Vince, you're just going to sit in the audience and you're just going to tell us about it because fuck. see you at E3, click. Yeah, that was fucked, man. That was the weirdest announcement ever.
True.
It was really strange.
We were really dumbfounded on that stream when that happened.
It was really bad.
You should have seen the look. You weren't in the. You didn't go to the EA Play because who wanted to like
that one? Yeah.
Who wanted to get severe dehydration and sunstroke?
No, not really. It was so hot that day too.
I can't believe they did it outside.
That's so stupid.
Who would do that? It's fucking June in Los Angeles. Are you out of your minds?
I mean, you know, it's hot outside. It'll be fine.
It is officially also the hottest year on record. We just keep doing that year.
Most of those people don't see the sun very often.
That's true. That's true. I imagine that what would be a really good business is to like partially run E3 on solar power that's been reflected from the pasty white bodies of all the game journos that show up. Just put like solar panels reflecting off of all of the people standing around outside. It'd be great.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So fucking bummer. I'm sad.
Yeah, me too. So
we're never getting a good Star Wars game.
No.
Never.
Fuck it. No.
But we already got one, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, suck a dick, man.
Not a good game.
What the hell?
I like that game.
It's like Howard the Duck's corkscrew dick.
Yeah. I've never wanted to play as Luke Skywalker swatting flies in my life. But that game gave me the opportunity.
That was so bad.
To be
so
fair,
bad.
we had a good game before that.
Yeah.
Star Wars: The Old Republic. That's a good game too.
Yeah. You know, people take a look at the lightsaber and be like, hey, that would be kind of like a funny bug zapper. And then someone made an entire level around it.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's like Disney Infinity levels of bad.
Yeah. Like pre-Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so speaking of what we've been playing,
Is Ninja Theory making
playing.
Fable?
we don't know.
We don't know what they're making. They could be. Somebody's making Fable. Apparently it's not.
If it's not
the Horizon Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Ninja Theory.
I don't know. That means we won't see anything for at least 2 years. So
Yeah.
At least.
Well, because their studio isn't really getting any bigger, so at least that's what they talked about. Anyways, let's talk about what we've been playing. Brock, I'm going to start with you for once. What have you been playing?
Fortnite. That's all I play. It's literally all I play. I literally cut back from gaming. It's summer and it's so fucking hot out.
Yeah.
And my house is so hot, so I don't like to be in there.
Do you have the air conditioning?
No.
That's problematic.
That's no es bueno.
yeah.
Don't. Go
I have
on.
a second apartment though that I spend time at that has air conditioning.
Yeah. I know.
So
what
I'm
you're
usually
talking
there
about.
all the time. So I have Fortnite on my Switch there.
Yeah.
I played Dream Daddy again this week because it's so good.
It is a good game.
It is so funny.
Yeah.
I tried the Hitman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just can't get into it. It's just not for me.
You have to be in the right headspace for it for sure.
It's real slow.
It is slow. You have to be patient.
I'm not patient at all when I play games. So
You can do some really goofy, stupid stuff with it too,
Yeah.
though. Like you can kill people with soup cans, and that's a lot of fun.
I just get annoyed.
Yeah,
I don't like the control scheme very much either. It's a little.
It's geared towards like a particular type of gameplay.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get heavily into like, well, I'm going to do this level of just like pure action style. I'm going to get like a machine gun and just mow people down.
Yeah.
It's not geared towards that. They really want you. And I would argue the more enjoyable way to play it is kind of like the stealth action game, like manipulating crowd dynamics kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's just not for me. And then there's something else. What the hell was it?
Cool spot.
No, not some NBA, but what is it?
NBA Street.
No,
NBA Street style.
The Crew 2.
definitely not the Crew 2.
FIFA.
The Crew 2 does not look good.
Sean Capri was playing it the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Also, congratulations, Sean Capri, on your new baby girl.
Yeah, it's a horde.
Wow, what?
Horde Alliance. It's pink, so it's horde.
That's not what I thought you called her at all. I was like, that's a baby. You can't call a baby a whore.
Yeah, no, I don't know what she does for. I don't know what that baby does for a living, but yeah, she's a member of the horde.
Yeah.
There was something else I played.
like
Oh man, I
troll
played Super Hot through again because that's like absolutely my favorite.
Yeah, Super Hot's a really great game.
Someone dropped off champagne weed for me, so it was like drinkable champagne, but it was infused with THC.
I was gonna be like,
and I drank.
What the fuck is champagne weed, motherfucker?
I drank the bottle and played through Super Hot, and it was a great little night with myself.
That does.
It was very romantic.
Yeah.
I love that game so much. I'm so excited for the new one.
For a person who was like heavy into a new relationship, we're talking about a night alone spent drunk and high playing a video game was not what I would call romantic.
I thought it was pretty romantic.
Yeah.
Just me and myself.
I guess, you gotta love yourself,
You do have to
You
love
gotta take
yourself.
time for yourself.
You have to love yourself first before you can love someone else.
This is true.
It's long-lasting relationship advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? If you love yourself a lot, you should subscribe to the Brock Box.
This week's episode is sponsored by Brock Box. Officially sponsored.
Yeah. Love yourself. Get the Brock Box. Yeah.
That's a good slogan. That's great.
Let's start this. Let's do
Let's
this.
start this. Shipping prices are going to be very expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's once a week.
But we'll offer pretend free shipping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't pretend.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say it's free shipping, but it's really built into the price of the product. Shh, don't tell anyone.
True.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
I don't know.
Cool.
Fortnite, man. Fortnite's just so good.
I installed Fortnite on my Switch and I played it for 5 minutes, and I was like, "Yeah, this is actually a fun experience." But I
It
don't.
runs so well on the Switch.
It does. It surprisingly well, and it looks good.
Yeah.
It's
soon you got it.
handy. Because like you can now I can play Fortnite while taking a dumper without having to haul my whole TV
you go.
into my bathroom.
There's been a bunch of Fortnite things popping up in real life now, like in the desert and stuff. They've been building like art installations for Fortnite.
The hamburger from Fortnite disappeared from the game and is now somewhere in the middle of the desert.
Yep.
you
Very
go.
weird.
I think this is related to the reality tearing missile thing,
Yes, it
right?
is.
So the whole thing is that like
It's season 5 now? 4 or 5. It's coming 5, I think.
yeah. So like they're like a rocket launched and
Yep.
it created a tear in reality in the space, and something about the meteorite did that too.
Yep.
And people are suspecting that all the tears are going to line up together. And you know what I think is going to happen? They're going to do like an installation or somewhere where they do like a Fortnite amusement park thing. I think that's what they're hinting at, is like
And designed by Banksy.
stuff bleeding into the real world. That'd be really cool, but I don't think Banksy would have anything to do with that. Be like, wait a minute, how much money are you making off this fucking thing?
If anyone has the money for it, though,
Yeah.
Fortnite has the money.
If there's one thing that Banksy is well known for, it's entering into large business agreements with giant Chinese conglomerates.
I went and saw that Banksy exhibit in Toronto. What a fucking shit show that was. It was horrible.
And did you hear about the whole thing about like the painting was stolen, but it
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
out that was all like a publicity stunt
Yep.
for the whole thing?
The guy this week went in and put up his own art, which I thought was really funny.
Good for him.
He posted his own art on the wall.
There you go.
It was like the Mr. Brainwash thing. It was the whole like exit through the gift shop.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I just love how like Banksy, his whole thing is just making fun of the business of art and how absurd it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there actually is a gift shop that you exit through at the very end of the exhibit.
Yeah,
which I think they missed the point on.
Yeah.
Yes, so you can buy really badly screen printed shirts.
Get your Banksy
For $40.
trucker hat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that Banksy does not condone or want.
Apparently, it doesn't have anything to do with this.
No, he doesn't like the guy who's running it.
Yeah. Yeah. No surprise there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Drew, what have you been
He
playing?
couldn't be reached for comment though.
go figure. I think isn't it like it's just like a well-known secret who Banksy actually is now?
No, still no. Every year there's an article that runs on like the Daily Mirror that they know who it is.
Yeah, and then they
It's
can't
never
prove
is,
it. Yeah,
no.
my theory is Banksy is not a person. Banksy is a bunch of people.
It's a collective.
Yeah.
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 I think that's why they deflect
Yeah.
who it actually is.
Yep. Anyway, I played some video games.
Yeah, you did.
I played Hitman.
Still playing that Hitman. Grinding away.
I finished all of the episodes that come with like the base game, and then there were 2 expansion episodes that were sold as DLC afterwards. I haven't played those as Colorado and Hokkaido. So yeah, I'm gonna play those soon
Nice.
and start doing some like the challenge stuff in that game. I love that game. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
When you pull off a perfect assassination, it just it makes my dick so hard.
I just like shooting, guns blazing.
Yeah.
That's all you do.
my
In,
problem.
what do you do in Splinter Cell then?
Guns
I
blazing
mean,
all the time.
I did that.
What's wrong with you?
I don't like stealth. I like blowing shit up.
I did one where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do the make it look like an accident. I'm going to like snipe this person from an impossible distance and no one's going to see it. Mm-hmm. I did that and that was dope. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, I've been playing a lot of Starbound still because, I got to make my space station and my underwater sea base.
Wait, hold on. You like space?
Yes, I like space and I like survival
you do
games.
work for NASA.
And I like building games. I do work for NASA. That's the secret. My secret's out. I'm a spaceman.
Anytime someone sees Drew in a NASA shirt, they think he works for NASA, which is amazing.
Yeah, or like
nice.
occasionally I'll wear this and my NASA flight jacket, and then people are like, "Oh, are you an astronaut?" And I'll be like, "Motherfucker, do you see how fat I am? Nobody's putting my fat ass in space. It cost them 4 times as much to put me in space instead of Mark Kelly. This is nuts."
Yeah.
Also, Mark Kelly's a dope dude. Space. I played some other things. I can't remember what they are,
Yeah.
but
It's that time of year, man, where it's just like you got to catch up on things.
Dribs and Drabs. You played Octopath, didn't you?
I already played the demo as much as I.
Isn't it out?
No, next week.
No, it's out next week.
I'm a little happy.
Jason Schreier doesn't like
I'm
it
very
very much.
excited.
Jason Schreier's
for
an
Friday.
idiot.
Well, he didn't like it. His article talked about how it wasn't Final Fantasy VI. And people were thinking it was going to be Final Fantasy VI, and those people have impossible expectations.
Because Final Fantasy VI is one of the greatest games ever made.
Period. Yeah.
How do you make that game again?
It's just going to be impossible to.
So good.
You know what else is coming out next week?
What?
Captain Toad.
It's true.
Ooh, yeah.
It's coming out next week.
I wonder if they're gonna use the box art where he's got the real people legs.
I wish.
That'd be so good. With the diaper and the real
Those
people legs.
hairy legs. And high heels. What'd you play, Ryan?
I played a couple things.
Okay.
First of all, Drew, I'm sorry to report, I played Prey this week.
Why are you sorry to report that? You didn't enjoy it?
I played it. I gave it 10 hours.
Yeah, that's fair.
It isn't for me.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
been
it's
away for a while.
it's a weird fucking game,
Well,
man.
it's also like,
I'm still not sure if it was for me,
Yeah.
and I played through the whole fucking
well, it's
thing.
kind of like, and the thing is, and I sort of really sat back and then thought about this. It's really just for whatever reason, like Arcane Studios' style.
Yeah.
They make amazing worlds and tell incredible stories.
Yeah.
But man, I just can't get into any of their games at all for some reason.
I've been away for a while. I also tried to get into Prey. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
It does not click for me at all.
It is very much a particular thing. Like certainly, it's very reminiscent of System Shock.
Right.
It's very System Shock like.
Yeah.
If you've played System Shock, and that game alone has this weird combination, or Deus Ex, it's got this weird combination of like first-person combat with weird RPG systems. It's still got the thing where like it's got like an inventory where you gotta like put kind of Tetris it together to maximize space.
It's so fast-paced and goes so slow.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
don't
got
like the contrast.
the crafting is really weird.
Yeah.
The story is really strange.
Well, that's the thing. The story I'm actually into. It's just playing that game to me is like eating sandpaper.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do it for some reason.
I'm going to tell you what the ending is after this.
Yeah.
I know the ending, which also ruins it for me.
Yeah, knowing the ending is really dumb. It's the ending is really stupid. I really didn't like it.
I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
I hate it.
Yeah.
That's also why I don't really care about finishing the game.
Yeah. Once you know what, that's why I said, like, remember I told you the lunar base thing? I'm like, I don't know what you could do that would make me want to come back to this world because I hated the ending that much.
Okay.
And again, to be fair, the lunar base thing does some stuff that's gameplay wise that attractive.
Well, it's like a roguelike game.
Yeah.
It seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other things I played this week again, as I mentioned, like it's the dog days of summer. There really aren't any new releases until this week, which I'm very excited about. Octopath Traveler, as you mentioned, but so I've been playing old retro games all week, like Metroid Prime. I went back and beat Metroid Prime from start to finish this week. Still fucking amazing game. I always forget, like when I think about Metroid as a series in my head, I always forget just how much of a masterpiece Metroid Prime is. That game is still amazing from top to bottom, hands down. One of my favorite games in the series. One of my favorite games ever made. And then I played a lot of like Sega Genesis games and stuff. I also played a lot of World of Warcraft this week. I'm sorry, Drew. I've pretty much done everything I need to do before the pre-patch comes out for Battle for Azeroth. And Magic the Gathering Arena, I played a lot this week. Turns out they announced that we'll be getting codes soon. As far as codes I can give out to people. So depending on how many codes I have, we may have some for the listeners or from people on this couch if they want them.
For what?
So there you go.
Oh, you know what? I got into the MTG
You did?
Arena beta, and I just need to install the installer. I'll probably do that soon.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't have a way yet where we can play with friends, but apparently that's coming.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, and the 22nd, we're going to get more codes. For
The new core set looks really dope.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, guess who's back? Guess who's back? The motherfucking Elder Dragons are back.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Well, it's like basically this time, this set is supposed to be the origins of Nicol Bolas.
Yeah.
It's supposed to tell that story. So that's why the Elder Dragons are.
I hope they. Well, he consumes all of them and becomes a planeswalker, right? That's,
Pretty much.
Yeah. I just wanted them. I wanted some of them to come back as planeswalkers too.
Yeah.
I want to have a good Elder Dragon planeswalker, not a bad one.
Yeah.
But give me Chromium. Make Chromium a good guy.
What are you talking about? Nicol Bolas is in the best colors, Drew Grix's colors, black, red, blue.
Yeah, no, those are bad.
Those are the best colors in Magic the Gathering. You know this.
Blue, green, white. No.
Oh, geez, you're a Bant person. What's wrong with you?
I like band. Yeah.
Yeah. But that actually comes to Arena this week, actually on the 12th. M12.
Cool.
I mean, M19. So
Nice.
there you go. So I should also mention as well SGTQ this week as well, and I should mention
That's Summer Games. Summer Games Done Quick,
which is a bi-yearly speed running marathon where they speed run games for 7 days straight.
and do some pretty nutso things.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about my favorite things real quick. My favorite things from the event. So first of all, there was an amazing Celeste race where it was any percent, and people were the job was basically go through the game as fast as possible. But there are 2 people racing. It was absolutely amazing tech with that game. Like
cool.
the way you use the dash. Apparently, if you down directional down dash towards the ground, it propels you like super far, which is really weird. Right. There was an amazing Super Mario Brothers 3 race with Grand Pooh Bear and Mitch Flower Power. And what was cool about the race was Grand Pooh Bear accidentally stomped the ground, and the consoles were on the ground, causing one of the consoles to shake, like his opponent's. His console totally froze up. So what he did in with sportsmanship in mind, he basically just waited for his opponent to catch up to where he was. And then they got to the very end of the game, and then he did it again. He stopped on the ground, and he froze. Like his competitor was about to finish the game and beat him in the race, but he froze his console twice.
Wow.
In one run. It was ridiculous.
That's what happens when you try to break the game. Sometimes you break everything.
Yeah. There was an amazing Cuphead 100% run where they actually had some of the guys from Studio MDHR actually on the phone with the speedrunner. It was a totally amazing run where they beat every single boss battle on every single level. And it was incredible. Like, in fact, most of the way that it worked, they found a glitch where you can basically, if you quickly alternate between your 2 weapons, you can basically get like infinite fire with both your weapons at the same time. Like just shooting twice as many bullets may allow you to skip most of the faces of some of the bosses and making it look incredibly easy. Like some of this, like on the last couple stages, the guy didn't even get hit once.
This wasn't tool assisted, right?
No.
Okay.
It was some crazy person actually doing this.
Wow.
There, of course, was a Metroid Zero mission 100% race as well between 4 people.
Dope.
That was also awesome. And last but not least, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, the Pepsi Man 100% run, because Pepsi Man is an amazing game.
Would spend that much time playing Pepsi Man?
In fact, there was a donation incentive of, I think it was like $50,000, where if they raised $50,000 for charity, they would then play the entire game with the cutscenes without skipping the cutscenes. And the cutscenes in that game, let me tell you, are amazing, because they're like FMV cutscenes of some like American actor, because it was a Japanese only game, so there's like Japanese subtitles of just the most ridiculous shit. It was great. If you've never, first of all, if you don't know who Pepsi Man is, go to YouTube and just look up Pepsi Man. He was like only in Japanese commercials.
Watashi wa ichiban no hamo gozaimasu, Pepsi Man.
See, there you go.
Son.
Nani?
Anyways, let's quickly wrap up the show with the news. We have 3 stories, but we're going to just blaze through these. Netflix, as we mentioned before, has announced that Castlevania Season 2 will have 8 episodes this time around instead of 4, and will launch on October 26th. I'm really excited about it, because just when that series was starting to get really good, they ended it. So I'm really excited to see more.
I wonder if Adi Shankar has anything to do with it this time.
He does.
I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be Max Landis.
It could.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Next up, Drew, you and I talked about this before, but like on last week's show, but The new Kill la Kill game, we got some more details about that.
Yeah.
So first of all, the game is going to be called Kill la Kill, the game IF. The IF apparently stands for something that I don't remember. It's a third-person cel-shaded fighting game coming in 2019 on PS4 and Steam. Unlike
Cel-shaded still a thing?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Especially in like anime games.
Yeah,
Well, it's made by Arc System Works, who made Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Oh, okay. All right.
All they do is
and-
cel shading
Yeah,
stuff.
that's right.
Yeah, but they're basically like doing like a 3D. Do you remember Guilty or Exorzine?
I
A long time
remember
ago.
that
Well,
really.
it was like a 2D fighting game
absurd
that
title.
like where like the 3D landscape would rotate.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they're doing this time around with this game.
They do really cool stuff. Like they make stuff look hand drawn when it's not, and it's really neat.
Yeah.
They do a good job of it.
Yeah, they had a quick announcement trailer and it looks fantastic.
What is cel shaded these days is like, I don't know. It's not really a term we use anymore.
Right.
I
It's
guess that's
just-
the thing. I just thought of like Jet Set Radio Future, and I was
Yeah.
like, weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, well, Dragon Ball FighterZ
Yeah.
is a cel shaded game,
Right.
Yeah.
For example, so that's sort of the way to look at it. If you know the Kill la Kill anime, this is interesting because it's not focusing on Ryoko, who's the main character from Kill la Kill. It's actually focusing on Satsuki, who's the like main antagonist. Her story is basically what they're telling
It's
us.
the story from the perspective of the bad person.
Exactly. So that's kind of cool. I'm really excited for that game.
But as we talked about, there's going to be hot dudes and hot ladies in this because that's what Kill la Kill does.
If you like anime and you've never seen Kill la Kill, go watch it. It's awesome.
Yeah. But only if you're a grown up.
Yeah.
Ask your parents.
Bring us home, Ryan.
Last story. Well, many had assumed it was canceled because even myself included, I thought this was canceled. When the official Dead Island Twitter account announced this week that there was a Dead Island mobile game called Dead Island Survivors coming, they also confirmed that Dead Island 2 is actually still being developed somehow.
Deep Silver's still making it.
And yeah, apparently, which makes it a THQ Nordic game. Congrats.
No surprise there.
So the game will be announced again at quote unquote a later stage. Who the fuck knows what that means? I'm just amazed that game still exists.
You know what? It's almost like it's lived beyond its own death. It's in a state of undeath almost.
Kind of like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I was suggesting that it was a zombie. I was making a zombie joke.
Okay, fair enough.
I got a zombie army, and you can't harm me.
All right. Quick thing.
Who do your voodoo, bitch?
What comes out first, Drew? Dead Island 2 or Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Dead Island 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake is not coming out.
Because they were both announced the same year.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is not coming out.
Yeah.
Ever. The day it comes out is the day I die.
Last week, Nomura was interviewed, and he talked about how, like, yeah, I think we announced Final Fantasy VII Remake too early. Because that game is just starting to get out of pre-production.
Yeah, you don't fucking say.
So, oh my god, let alone the third episode. When are we getting the third episode of Final Fantasy VII Remake? Oh my god. And this week's new releases, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition.
Yep.
Out this week.
You bet it is.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, as Brock mentioned, out this week on Switch and 3DS.
Track that treasure.
We got a new 3DS game this week, guys.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Octopath Traveler comes out on Friday, and I cannot be more stoked for a game. It's the game I've been looking forward to for a while now.
It looks pretty.
I'm excited. So,
It's got owls in it.
before we go, Drew plugs go.
I'm at T McMillan Twitter, and of course, get your tickets now for BrockCon. You can come see me. You can see Ryan and other creators. Get that $3 VIP ticket. Meet me up in the VIP lounge. We'll be sipping on Cristal. Free Cristal for everybody who gets a VIP ticket. Of course, as you know, just repping, and then also get that exclusive Brock box while you're there. Get that good Brock merch. Get the hat. With the merch hat, the merch hat. Just come say hi. Legit, no lines and no security. We don't need security. Like, what's security even for?
No.
Like,
We're our own security.
Security just gets in the way of you meeting the creators. So just come check us out.
I'm just kidding. I have bodyguards.
And then
I've seen the DMs you guys send me. I'm fucking terrified.
go over to brockbox.com, sign up for the Brockbox, and
I'm
if you
scared that
do,
you're making this sound very real, that people will actually think this is a real thing.
you'll
It
get
is.
the bonus Dorito socks
It
when you
is.
sign up for the
I
Brockbox.
built the website while we were sitting here on Squarespace. It's so easy to build a website on Squarespace.
Did you know
Use
that?
code GameMoose to save 20%.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no game loose code
yeah.
for Squarespace.
Yeah, totally.
Squarespace
What's the other one?
terrible. Wix.
Wix, yeah.
Wix.
I made a website with Wix. It's the BrockCon
Brock's
website.
Box, which is totally different.
Well, I would just like you listeners at home to know that this podcast is also sponsored by MeUndies. Go to MeUndies.com.
Yeah, go to
and go get
/Brockbox/
I feel like a real man in my MeUndies.
to be fair, I'm wearing MeUndies right now.
Nice.
They're the only underwear I wear.
Oh wow!
I have.
Good to know.
Yeah, they're very comfortable.
So
fact.
what Instagram account can we find your pictures of your undies on?
As long as you can put up with the dicks in them, also. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. Drew definitely doesn't work for a big corporation.
No.
Instagram.com.
No, but genuinely, my support of MeUndies is not in any way affiliated officially with the. I genuinely only wear MeUndies because I
don't have MeUndies.
They have this cutting edge
my
micromodal
undies.
fabric. It's very comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you know we're legit. We don't have any affiliate relationships.
No. In fact, I made that as a joke because like every podcast these days is sponsored by MeUndies or Squarespace. So.
Squarespace or Wix or Blue Apron or
Blue Apron, big
Yeah,
time.
Blue Apron.
Yeah.
or Lisa or Endy or I don't know.
Speaking of sponsorships,
Anyways, I'm Brock.
yeah, where can people find you, Brock?
Yeah, my man, Twitter at Brock McLaughlin. You can go to my website where I don't update it like ever.
That's not true. You put something up like 3 years ago.
I did, but like I'm in a rut.
Yeah,
I don't really want to write right now. There's just not anything exciting happening.
Well, it's also summer.
it's
It's
the
also
summer.
summer.
It's the
man.
dark days of summer.
Get
Have
outside.
fun. Yeah.
Get a tan.
It also doesn't help too that this week was Canada Day and July 4th, so it's like
And
the video game industry is asleep right now.
Here's what you do. You grab your Dell XPS 15 gaming
Nice.
laptop. You go out to the park.
Yeah.
And you play Fortnite there.
yeah, you play Fortnite in the park.
But
You play Fortnite for a fortnight in the park.
But why would
with
he do
your
that
Dell
when he
gaming
has a
I
laptop.
don't
laptop?
even have anything weird to say this week. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Cool.
All right. As for me,
We've already said enough weird things.
Yeah,
today.
it's a weird one.
We really cranked it up.
Off the rails.
Yeah.
it's been a while.
It's the first time we've said it the whole episode.
I know. I played this weird mining game where you can actually go off the rails. I don't know why I decided to download this, but it's horrible. I think it's called Minecraft. No, Mine Rider. It's really bad.
Minecraft
It
is
is
something
incredibly
different.
bad.
Yeah.
There's also sexy ghosts to try and stop you from riding your mine shaft. It's very weird. It looks like an N64 game. I smoke too much pot.
Congratulations, you killed Drew.
Yeah.
Oh, sexy ghost.
Sexy ghosts. Sexy ghosts is my
I
favorite.
would
really
say
wanna play
ghosts
this
with
game.
the most.
Yeah, I do like
Let me
ghosts.
pull it up for you. It's horrible.
While Brock pulls that up, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's TURFORD. Go to our website, game-moose.com, for all your game-moosiest needs. Not featuring any moose of any kind, of course.
No.
You can also find us on Twitter at game_moose_cast, on Facebook at facebook.com/game-moose-podcast, on game-moose.com every single Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and on podcast services around the globe. Also, I should plug, I did a couple unboxing videos between the last podcast and this podcast. If you want to see me open some video game subscription boxes,
Do I ever?
which are really cool, from Video Games Monthly and Retro Game Treasure, go check that out. I even put gameplay of me playing the games in the video.
I want to watch that.
You can go watch me play Batman Forever, which is a really
Okay, I
bad
don't
video
watch it
game.
You lost me. You had me, and then you said Batman
But Brock,
Forever.
we have Batman Forever on the shelf now. We can go play it anytime you want.
That's good.
It's
I'm
two
glad.
players.
That's bad. Why do
The song for Batman Favorite?
I see the Jungle Book is up there too.
Yeah, it's a sealed Game Gear game.
Oh wow! I mean, that must be worth at least $1.
It's worth $10.
Oh. Well, investing in your future, I see.
So did you find the game? You said you were looking it up.
Oh,
While I was vamping.
I forgot. what was happening.
we're already. It's
Anyways, time to go. So, for Drew McMillan and Brock McLaughlin, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been episode 129 of the Game Moose Podcast. And we're out.
Go to BrockCon.